welcome to Friday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. It is Friday the 13th, unlucky for some, but hopefully not us. We have a very interesting looking puzzle to try today called Boxes Clash by Nevario. Now, these numbers are far too large to be the sums of these diagonals, and that is because we've got some multiplication involved. So I think we're going to have to get our factorising boots on in order to solve this one, and I'll read you the rules of this in just a moment. It's been heavily recommended, this, by the way. Apparently this is a beautiful puzzle. What to mention first? Well, firstly I want to say a very happy birthday to Amy Davis. Amy, your husband James got in touch with us, and I gather that the two of you enjoy watching Cracking the Cryptic together. I'm sorry that your birthday falls on Friday the 13th this year, but I'm sure you've had a very splendid cake to make up for it. Other than that, I want to say a welcome. We've been putting on a few new subscribers recently. Thank you very much if you're one of those. If you have joined us of late, what do we have to offer you? Well, every day we do 2 videos. We have been doing 2 videos every single day since the start of the pandemic. We haven't missed one yet, touch wood. We will continue not to miss one for as long as we can. There's all sorts of things going on around the channel. There is a fantastic Discord server where I think some 25,000 people are now members of our Discord. We have a Patreon site, so if you want to find extra content, there's loads of stuff over there. Everyone who supports us over there, we are most grateful to. It's a couple of bucks a month, and we put, as I say, we put extra content over there to make it worth your while. Other than that, we have a whole suite of apps, many of which have just been updated to include their 100 handcrafted puzzles. They really are something else, those apps. And I'm not blowing my own trumpet at all, although I did make some of the puzzles for the apps. The reason you want to get the apps, frankly, is because of these fabulous puzzles that we've had from the great and good of the sudoku community. So setters that have become household names if you have interest in sudoku, people like Phistomefel and Codec, and Prasanna Seshadri and Sam Kappelman Lines, and I'm now going to miss off names. Well, Richard Stolk have all made sudokus for the apps. It really is. They really are worth checking out. Now, that's all I've got to tell you. Let's have a look at the rules of Boxes Clash. I wonder why it's called Boxes Clash. I don't know. But the rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits along a purple line must be a set of consecutive non-repeating digits in any order. Now, we've only got 2 little short stubby purple lines here. So if this was a 1, then we would know the purple line must contain a 2 and a 3. And the order doesn't matter. So we could fill it like this. That would be a legitimate way of filling our purple line. Now, here's the interesting bit. Clues outside the grid give the multiplication of the box sums that the diagonal passes through. Now, thankfully, there's an example, which I think I understand. It says, e.g., the 1000 clue on the southwest northeast diagonal, so that's this diagonal here, means that row 1 column 9 plus row 2 column 8 plus row 3 column 7. So you add these together because these are all in the same box along this diagonal, and you multiply whatever you get once you've added these together to these 3 cells, and then you multiply that by whatever you get in those 3 cells, and you should end up with the number 1000. So that is how these diagonals work. So let's look at another one. This 99 diagonal is saying that these 2 cells, so let's say they added up to 9, multiplied by this cell. Oh no, hang on. I'm going to make a mess of my maths now. I'm going to say these add up to 3. I'm going to say this is a 3 because I can do the maths now. So if those add up to 3, let's do this slowly. Let's say that's a 2 and a 1. That's a 3. So now I've got 3 times 3, which is 9. So I need another 11. So if I did that, that would be a legitimate way, I believe, of filling in the 99 diagonal. So it is a weird and interesting rule set. And that is what we're going to have to do to solve the puzzle. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And I am going to start with... Well, I'm tempted to start with 1001 because that looks like it's probably not got many factors. yeah, I mean, it's not divisible by 3. I can tell you that because 999 is definitely divisible by 3. And 1001 is only 2 more than 999. So, as Maverick flies past my window, what is the next prime number that this is? It was not divisible by 5. Is it divisible by 7? We would have 1, 4, 3. Yes, it is. Okay, 1001 is divisible by 7. I feel like I should have known that, but I didn't. Right, and I know 143 is 13 times 11. So this diagonal, how does this work then? So this diagonal is somehow 7s, 11s and 13s being multiplied together. Right, so doesn't that mean this has to be a 7, I want to say? Because we need to have a single digit here that is a factor of 1001. Now the only other factor I could include here would be a 1, but that's going to give us a big problem now, because we could make this an 11, for example, but then this would have to be 7 times 13, and that's definitely too big for 2 cells. Yeah, so this has got to be a 7. Now this is either 11, well, these 2 digits either add up to 11 or 13, and the same is true of these 2 digits. So we should probably highlight this diagonal to tell us that there's something going on in it, shouldn't we? Yes, I see, right, and there's another 1001 diagonal here, which must work in the same way. It's symmetrical. So that square is a 7. These are on the Renban as well, which is the thing I need to think about next. So these digits cannot be particularly low. If I try and put a 4 here, I couldn't make this a set of consecutive digits. So these digits have to be, well, they could be 5s. It could be 5, 6, 8 or 9. Okay, maybe that's not. Okay, so this is 5, 6, 8 or 9, and we know these 2 cells add up to either, I've forgotten now, it was either, no, 11 or 13. Oh, so this is going to have an absolute panoply of options. Yeah, okay, that's so many options, I'm not really even prepared to pencil mark it. Mark would pencil mark it. I mean, Mark would pencil mark it if it was like this. But I'm not going to do that because that won't help me. So, what do we look at next? We shall look at 7 is definitely not a factor of 1000, so I probably want to look at the fact that I've got 2 7s on this diagonal. So what's 1000 divisible by? It's divisible by 5. In fact, it's divisible by lots of 5s. 5 times 5. Yes, okay. Right, yeah, I'm going to look at this diagonal. Because, how do you make 1000? How do you multiply 3 numbers together to get 1000? Well, 5 times 5 times 5 is 125, and 125 times 8 is 1000. So that means that the only 8 is obviously 8's prime factors are only 2's, 2 times 2 times 2. So that means that 1000 is actually 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 5 times 5. Yeah, okay, that's obvious because it's obviously 3 times. I'm so stupid sometimes. I'm so sorry. The simple way of thinking about it would be to say 1000 is 10 times 10 times 10, which is effectively what I've just told you. So maybe this is 10 times 10 times 10 then. That would be great, because that would mean these cells would have to be a 1-2 pair, and that would have to be a 1-2 pair. Now, if it wasn't 10 times 10 times 10... No, yeah, this doesn't work. Right, okay, the way to think about this is in terms of the 5s. We know that the factors of 1000 include 3 lots of 5s. Could I ever, in a Sudoku grid, include 2 5s in one of these boxes? Well, if I did, then if I was going to say I was going to try and produce a 25 factor in one of these boxes, then I would have to make these 3 digits add to 25. Well, 7 plus 8 plus 9 is only 24. That's impossible. So I cannot allocate the 2 5s that I need as a factor, i.e. the 25, to one of these boxes. It's impossible. So I must spread the 5s out evenly over the 3 boxes. And once I've spread the 5s out evenly, you might say, but you could make those 3 digits add to 5. No, 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 I can't, because 1 plus 2 plus 3 is already 6. So we must be multiplying another factor by the 5 in order to make it work in each box. And that's why I've got 3 2s. Well, it's not why I've got 3 2s available, but obviously Nevario has noticed this and thought that this would be a very neat way of using a 1000 clue. So we must allocate a 2 to every 5 across the 3 boxes, so we get 10 times 10 times 10, which means these are 1 2 pairs. This one, I don't know what that one is, but obviously those 3 digits have to add up to 10 now. I keep wanting to use the diagonal rule and say, okay, these can't include a 1 and a 2, but that's really not going to get me anywhere. So now I want to use that 40 clue, do I? Is that going to be restricted by having a 1, 2 and a 3 not on it? So what are the prime factors of 40? 5 and 3 lots of 2s again. Right. But there's a problem here, isn't there? These have to be quite big. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I can do this. Right. Well, I can do some of it. What are those 2 digits? That's an interesting question, because they cannot be 1s, 2s and 3s. So they must be at least equal to 4 and 5. Well, 4 and 5 is 9, and 9 is not a factor of 40. So they're not 4 and 5. But what we should be deducing here is that one of the factors that we're heading up to in this box is a factor of 40 that is higher than 9. So it's got to be 10 or 20, I think. There's no other factor. There's no factor between 10 and 20 or 40. No, there is not. So this must, well, it's not 20 because I can't put 10 into both of those digits. So this is adding up to 10 and it's not using 1, 2 and 3. So it is 4, 6, which means these 2 squares are multiplying together to give 4. Which means they could be double 2, unfortunately. They're double 2 or 1 and 4. And that's annoying. So does that affect what this is? No, I mean, well, if these were double 2, this would be a 1, but if these were 1 and 4, this would be a 2. No, it doesn't, sorry. Right. So what have we actually learnt as a result of doing this? How has this affected the puzzle? Because I quite like it so far. It's been very sequential. We did the 1001s. That made us think about the 1000s. That made me think about the 40. This diagonal is another 1000 diagonal, so that must work the same way, mustn't it, as its friend over here. Is that true? Yes, it is true. I didn't use the 7s on the diagonal to make the deduction about each of the boxes having to have a 10 sum. So each one of these boxes has a 10 sum, and that means in the middle box you've got 2 10 sums crossing each other, which means that digit cannot be an absurdly high digit because it needs to be involved in 2 different ways of making 10. So if you put 6 in there, you would have broken the puzzle, because that could be a 1-3 pair, but there would be no way of making another 4 in those 2 squares. Now, unfortunately, 5 will work, won't it? 1, 4, 2, 3. So that cell there is of modest size, but not actually very restricted. It's probably going to be a 1. That's my guess. Okay, so maybe I don't really want to look at this diagonal, I have to say. 20 with 20 knowing nothing about it. So we're saying that, again, the prime factors here are 5, 2 and 2. But we could use 1s here, couldn't we? I mean, we can almost use 2 1s. We can't quite use 2 1s, but we could use a 1. Yeah, we could use a 1 and a 2, and those two could add to 10, and that would work. Oh yeah, look, there's 1s and 2s here and here as well. So if these were low, that would have some impact on boxes 1 and 9. Right, the other clue I've not looked at is the 99 clue. We've got 2 of those, and they're both sort of symmetrical around the negative diagonal, aren't they? So 99, obviously that's divisible by 3, but then so is 33. So 3 times 3 times 11 is what we're looking at for 99. But the problem with that... no, not the problem. Right, this is where we need to look now. This is where we need to look now. Because something here needs to sum to 11, or a multiple of 11. Now, a multiple of 11 in 2 cells is silly. So either this adds to 11 or this adds to 11. And that means that the other 3 digits have to be well, we're going to have something going on with 9. Now, we could have 3 here, or 3 here, times 3 here. That would work, except there is a given 3 knocking 3 out of this cell. So that's impossible. So one of these is 11, and the way we're going to have to make 9 in the other, the remaining 9 multiplier we need is 9 times 1, and that's beautiful, because what you can't do is that. That will not work. Well, actually, more correctly, that will not work, because although 1 times 9 is 9, this little 0 here is not going to butter any parsnips. So this must be, it must be 9 times 1 in the other way. So there's a 9 here, and this has to be a 1. So now, one of these dominoes is adding up to 11, and one of them is adding up to 9, but we don't know which way round they go. And the same is true. Or, no, it's not. Oh, you rotten thing. You rotten thing. No, that doesn't work here. This one. This given 3 doesn't see that cell. So that cell's got to be 1 or 3. We know one of these dominoes. Well, it's not really a domino, but you know what I mean. Either that little diagonal dyad or this one have to add up to 11. And the other, well, then we don't know what this is. We've either going to have 1, 2 pairs in one of these dyads, or we're going to have what we've got over here, which is a 9 dyad. Right, okay, that's interesting though. I don't think that can be a 3. Let me just think about this for a second. That is not going to work, is it? This is really quite beautiful, actually. It's so beautiful, I suspect it's deliberate. Okay, look, if that's a 3, I know one of these, because one of these dyads is adding to 11, we know that. The other, so we're up to 3 times 11, if this is a 3, and that's 33. So I need another 3 as my next multiplier, which means that one of these is a 1, 2 pair, either this one or this one. But look what happens now. if this is a 1-2 pair, there's a 1-2 pair here in box 3 by sudoku. And if this is a 1-2 pair, there's a 1-2 pair here by sudoku. And this breaks my 1000 diagonal. Because if this is a 3, what we're saying is 1 and 2 in this box are not on the 1000 diagonal. So the minimum these could be would be 4, 5. And that does not add up to 10. And that breaks all the logic we did earlier. So this feels like that is important. Well, it is important, isn't it? It gets me a 1 here. What is that doing? So that's saying that now this 99 is the same as this 99. It's got an 11 around it and it's got a 9 around it. Yeah, there's something going on here. There's definitely something going on here, because the 1001 diagonals have 11 as a factor as well. And you can't put 11... Oh, there's something weird going on here. That you can't put the 11 that corresponds to the 1001 diagonal cannot go in the same box as the 11 that corresponds to the 99 diagonal. I don't know if I'm making this clear at all. Hopefully I'm just going to highlight these and try and explain what I mean. So in the 1001 diagonal, we know that we have a dyad, either this one or this one, that adds up to 11, and another dyad that adds up to 13. And in the 99 diagonals, we have a dyad that adds to 11 and a dyad that adds to 9. Now, what I'm trying to get at is there's sort of a rotational thing going on. Because if this, imagine this added up to 11, just for the sake of exposition quickly. If this adds up to 11, the point is now that this dyad cannot add up to 11 because this digit is shared between those two sums, and you'd have the same digit in those two positions. So you can see if that's a 6 and this is a 5. Now, if this is 11 as well, that obviously has to be a 5. So that doesn't work. But I think that logic just traces round the grid, because if this is not the 11, then we know this is the 11, and then we know this 99's 11, and it has to have an 11, is not here. So it would have to be here. So there's either an 11 here, an 11 here, and an 11 here. That's one possibility. Or there's an 11 here. Now I'm confusing myself. So if there's 11 here, there's an 11 here, and there's an 11 here. Oh, hang on, there should be another 11. I need an 11 on this one. Yeah, 11 there. There we go. I might have missed off an 11 on the first one. There should always be 4 11s, and they sort of go round in a cycle. Now, what does that mean? Let me just think about this. Sorry, can I just think about this a bit more? So if that's a 6 and that's a 5, I know this is not 11, so this would have to be the 9 part of the 99. So this would be a 3. And then this would be an 11. But if this is an 11, this would have to be a 13. And then this would be an 11. So this would have to be an... I see what's happening. Right, this is really beautiful. Good grief. Right, in fact, I'm going to stick with my example, because I think the point here is that the 1001 diagonal always has 11 and 13 dyads. The 99 diagonals always have 9 and 11 dyads. but the way they pair off is they always take the partner of the one that's 2 away. So if this is the 11 in the 1001, we know that this can't be the 11 in the 99, so it has to be the 9 part of it. But if this was the 13 in the 1001, then this would be the 11, and this would be the 9. I'm doing a bad job of, but what's going to happen is you're going to trace this round, and this, if this is the 13, this is going to be the 11 part of the 99, because you're going to need the 9 part to cope with the 11 that has to go here, if that makes any sense at all. In fact, probably the only way of doing this is going to be to do a complete ring to demonstrate it, so that's what I should do. But I think what's happening is that this digit, or the 1001 digit, in each of boxes 2, 4, 6 and 8, that the 1001 digit in these positions is always 2 greater than the 99 digit, is what I'm going to allege, because these are always shared. So let's see if we can prove that. So imagine that this was the 11 on the 1001. We therefore know this is 13, and therefore we can make this, in fact, look, we have to be careful because of this diagonal, this rem band. This is why this rem band is going to be here. So this has to be 6, this has to be 7. Now let's chase around here, because it's the 11s that are the key bit to this. This is adding to 9, so this is not the 11 on the 99, so this must be the 11 on the 99, but that means this can't be the 11 on the 1001, it must be the 13. So however this is made up, let's do this slightly differently. Let's do 3, 8 here. So now this has to be 13, so this has to be 5. And now we still need the 11 on the 1001 diagonal, which must be here. So that's going to be 6, that's going to be 5. And now we've got the 11 here, so this can't be the 11 on the 99 diagonal. This has to be the 9 on the 99 diagonal, so that would be a 4. In fact, this... Oh, I see. I see what you've done. I see what you've done. So now... anyway, so now we've got 9 here, so this has got to be 11, so that's got to be 4. So hopefully you're seeing what's happening there. We chased around these digits. This is just an example, and it wouldn't matter if we shifted the 11 here. If the 11 on the 1001 was here, it works exactly the same way, because this then can't be the 11 on the 99, it must be the 9, which makes this the 11 on the 99, which means this can't be the 11 on the 1001, which makes this the 11 on the 1001, etc. And you always end up with this beautiful little pattern, and I say beautiful with good reason, where these digits on the 1001 are 2 greater than their counterparts on the 99, and this matters so much because let's delete all of this conjecture. All of this is conjecture. And let us return to this and this. Why are these here? And what Neverio has done is something utterly beautiful. Because now you can't put 6 here. Because if you do, what digit do you have to put here on the 99? You've got to put 4 and it will break. And that means if you can't put 6 in either of these cells, you've fenced off your Ren band now. Your Ren band can never get below 7 because it can't get 6 on it. It works the same way here, obviously. If that's a 6, that would be a 4, and this would break. It's the geometry is just delightful to me. It is so clever. So that means that this is an 8-9 pair. And that means something, I'm sure. Well, okay, so that limits very strongly these 2 digits, doesn't it? Because we know these are on the 99, so these are 2 less. So this is a 6 or a 7, and this is a 6 or a 7. Bobbins. Oh no. So that means we should look at the 99, this digit now. So this is either adding up to 9, in which case this is 2 or 3. Well, it's not 3, so this is 2. Or it's adding up to 11, in which case this is 4 or 5. You rotten, rotten, rotten thing. And this one's worse, I think. I think this is 2, 3, 4, or 5. Let me just double check that. If this is adding up to 9, it's 2 or 3. If this is adding up to 11, it's 5 or 4, yeah. So I've not done very well here at all, actually. How do we do this? What is disambiguating? Because if we can just get one of these dyads fixed, we'll know. Well, yeah, we probably would know everything because we'd know the positions of all the 11s. So there must be something in the puzzle that's going to tell me how to do these dyads. Which diagonals have we not worked on? We've not worked on... I've not really worked on this one very much. Oh, does it matter there's a 1 in here? Maybe that matters. So these... How's this going to work then? So the minimum size of those two squares is 5 now. Now 5 is a factor of 20, of course. If these did add up to 5, they'd have to be a 2-3 pair. We would know the order, and then these two squares would have to multiply together to give 4. So they could be 1, 4, or double 2. Ah, right, okay, actually that might be interesting. I'm just looking at the bottom row here. So, but that's on the presumption. Oh, yeah, this is getting more restricted, not less. Right, this is gorgeous. Okay, if these add up to 5, then these have to multiply together to give 4. Now, if these don't add up to 5 and they're adding up to more than 5, what factors of 20 could we use? Could we possibly use? Well, the only one is 10. We can't make these two add up to 20 on their own. That's silly. So these have to add up to 10. But if these add up to 10, what do these add up to? What do these have to multiply together to give? They have to multiply together to give 2, which means they are a 1 and a 2, which means that this cell is always a 1, 2, or a 4, no matter what. And that means in this row, I've got a 1, 2, 4 triple, and this square is odd. And that's done it. The parity does it. The parity does it. Because remember, along the 1001 diagonal, we're looking for prime numbers. And the numbers we're looking for are 11s and 13s. So if this is odd, that must be even, and it's an 8. Which means that's a 9, which means this is a 6, it's 2 less than this. We might still not know what that is, actually. I'm not sure, but the 6 is doing the 4, that's doing the 6, that's doing the 7, which is confirming it's 2 less than the 9, so that makes sense. 7 by sudoku goes here, from here. 3, that's it, 3. 3, this beautiful given 3 is so important to the puzzle. Is it fixed this? Yeah, and it's, I don't know if it played a part in the whole idea of the 1, 2s in here, I'm not sure. But anyway, this 3 has given me this 3, and I'm very grateful to it for that. And that means this is 11, and now we're away, aren't we? Because if this is 11 on the 1001, we need a 13 to be 7 times 11 times 13, so this is a 4, which means that yes, that's still okay. 1 here is down in one of those two cells. So this is not a 1. So that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 1. This diagonal now, what's going on with it? I need this to be a 4 to make the maths work. 4 times 10 times 1 is 40. So this cell's a 1. This box needs 5s, 8s, and 9s, which might be resolved. 9, 8. No, we haven't got many 5s in the grid. Look, what about those digits then? They've got to be 2, 5, and 9. So these digits have to be a 4-8 pair. And this one is on the 20 diagonal. Ah, this is it. Right, look at this. So how could this be a 4? If it's a 4, we remember we're looking for a factor of 20 here. So we could make 5, that's going to need a 1. Or we could make 10, that's going to need a 6. And neither of those work, so that's an 8. That's a 4. This is now a 2 to get us to a factor of 20. Now we need this to be a 2 to make the maths work. And now, oh, now we get the 2 and the 1 at the top. Now we get, okay, does this matter? We've got 9 here, so this must be the 11 we need on the 99 diagonal. And that's not 2, 9 anymore. So this is 3, 8, 4, 7 or 5, 6 there. Bobbins. I might have to start pencil marking that though, because I'm conscious that if this is 9, this is 11. Yeah, probably that's what we have to do actually. That is right, isn't it? If this is 9, this is 11. Yes, it is. So this is 5, 6, 3 or 2, and it's not 2. So this is not 9. So this is 3, 5 or 6, and this is adding up to 11, isn't it? Oh no, hang on, this is wrong. Sorry, no, ignore me. Ignore me. I got it round the wrong way. This is 9, so this needs to be 11. So if this is 11, this is not 11, that's 13. Right, that might be better. That gets us 4, 5, 7 or 8. Hang on, what's going on? Oh yeah, because 7's not available. That's why there's a gap. I'm going crazy now. I apologise for my craziness. Right, that's not 4. So that's not 9. So this isn't 8. So that isn't 5. So this is even, which means this is odd because we know this is 11. So this is 3 or 5. And this is 13. So this must be 11, mustn't it? So this is 11. So this is 5, 6, 2 or 3. It's not 3. So if this is not 3, this is not 8. Oh, yeah, that's done. Oh, that's done it. Yeah, that's done it, I think. Haven't I knocked 8 off both sides of this? I believe I have. And if I have, how does this Rembrandt work? Well, it must be 5, 6, 7, which means this is not 9, which means this is not 2. I've got a 5, 6 pair here now. This is 11. So this must be 9, which means this has got to be a 3 or a 4, and it can't be a 4. So this is a 3, this is a 6, this is a 5, this is a 6, this is an... Oh, that's no good. I don't like that. I've done something wrong here. Done something wrong. That's not adding up to the right number. Well, sorry. Let's rewind. Let's pause for breath. I think I was getting overexcited, and that's not helped me. Right. This is 11. So this should not be 11 and should be 13. So let's do this again. Well, it's not right. This still can't be 9. I think I said that before. Can't be 9 because that would be a 4. So this is either 5, 7 or 8. And this is not 8 by Sudoku, so this is not 5. And that gets me 7 or 8 here. I had 6 or 8 before, didn't I? So maybe we are still okay, and I just had a missed pencil mark in this cell. Now, if this is adding up to 13, and it is, this should be adding up to 11, which means this digit should be 5, 6, 3 or 2, and it's not 3, which means this is not capable of being 8. This is also, I've just seen, not capable of being 6, which means that is not capable of being 5. I seem to be getting different things here, which is very peculiar. But now this has to be adding up to this. This was the 11, so this has to be 9, which means that we are looking for 7 or 3 here. That's not what I got last time. What's going on? I feel like I'm going mad. What's going on? Oh well, the answer to that is I do not know. I'm sorry, but something mysterious is happening. I think I'm going to abandon this whole idea and do Sudoku. 1 goes there. 2, oh no, 2. I was about to announce where 2 went, and then I realised I didn't know. 1 goes here. How many 1s have we got? Lots. I can get the last 1 wherever that goes. It goes in the middle there. Ah, on the 1000 diagonal. Ah, yes, this is lovely. Okay, so remember this diagonal has to add up to 10. Well, now it hasn't got a 1 on it, so it's 2, 3, 5. And that might be important. I don't know. I can get rid of 3 from the middle. I can get rid of 2 from that one. So this digit here has to be 4 or 7 only, because I need to make sure this adds up to 10 as well. Okay, and I've pencil marked everything in my ring of oranges and greens apart from this square. Now, if this is an 11, so this square here is either 4 or 3, I think. And that's nearly good, but not quite good enough. Oh, but this one still hasn't got 8 on it, which is what I proved last time. I think I was totally on the right track with this, but then I think I was discombobulated by this cell, which I had a different pencil mark in, so I apologise for this, but this still can't have 8 in it. So this is 5, 6, 7. So that's totally disambiguating everything. Look, 5, that must be 6. This is adding up to, that's the 11, isn't it? So this is the 13, which makes this a 7, which it couldn't have been last time. Now, this is a 6 to make this work. This now needs to be 9 to make this work. This 3, look, this 3 has given me a 5 and a 2 and a 3, and that's a 7. And now that should be a 4. And I've done it. I've done the ring. I think. Have I done all? No, I haven't done all the clues. I haven't done all the diagonal clues. I've still got this one and this one to do. Right, but this one, how's that going to work? These 2 digits have to add up to 9, and they can't be 1, 8, 2, 7, or 4, 5. So they're 3 and 6. So that's 6. That's 3. This needs to be 5s, 7s, and 9s to complete box 7. This is not 7. 5, 9 pair in row 8. 2 comes out of that square. Look, 5 comes out of this square. 5 comes out of this square. So this is 5 by Sudoku. 4 in the middle box is just placed by Sudoku. 6 in the middle box is placed by Sudoku. 9 in the middle box is placed by Sudoku, which means 8, presumably, is the last digit we need. 8's in one of those 2 cells. This digit I really ought to be able to write in. That's a 9. And probably we now look at... Where do we look? We shall look at this row. 3s, 5s, and 8s. That was not the right. That was not the right choice, was it? That's done absolutely diddly squat. Bother. Okay. Where else should we look then? We will look for. How many 2s have we got in this grid? Several, but not enough. 3s. Ooh. Okay. 3s are nearly restricted in box 4. One of those cells. So 3 is placed in box 1. 3 is off the diagonal in box 3, which might be important. Yes, look, I can't put 2 on this diagonal, and I can't put 3 on it. So this must, the only way of getting to 9 is with 4, 5, which we can do. So that's 4, that's 5, that's 9. That gives us a 5, 8 pair in the bottom, which gives us a 5 in this cell, which means we still need 8s and 9s in this column. Somehow that's not resolved, which is disappointing. What about this column? We need 6s, 7s and 8s. So that's an 8 by sudoku. This is 7 by sudoku. That's 6 by sudoku. These are not 8 anymore, which places 8 over here, which places 3 by pencil marks, places 9. That should be a 5. This should be a something, 2. And that should be a 6. And that all looks quite profitable. That 9 and 2 are resolved by sudoku again. 2's in one of those cells. And it's just going to be a matter of picking off these last digits. 5, 7, 9. That's 5. So this is 9, this is 7, this is 9. This is 8 now. These two squares are 6 and 4. And we can probably do better than that. That's a 4, that's an 8. This is an 8, 8, 5, 5, 3, 3. So these have got to be 2 and 9, which is done. Oops. 2, 9, 2. And if we've not made another error, that should be a 7. What a beautiful puzzle that is. That is so, so gorgeous. I cannot tell you. Other than my ricket around here, where I think I was let down by my pencil marking, this was such a beautiful puzzle to solve. Honestly, it's such a lovely idea that you can always lock these cells, these ones here, let me purplify them to exemplify their beauty. These cells are always too different. And then this lovely idea of this 4-6 pair here, which works in both directions. It's a stunning one, this. It really is. And that allowed us to knock the 6 off this Remban. It's just such a gorgeous setting. Then we got this was odd, and parity told us things. Loved every minute of that, Niverio. Well done. That is a beautiful puzzle. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.